Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another session with the first parents. And today we are going to talk about a much talked about topic, that is Garbhsanskar. This topic has become quite relevant in the recent days, and that's why we have a certified professional to talk about it. Today we have a very special expert and a speaker with us, Dr. Anusha, who is a MBBS from Bangalore Medical College and Research Institute. She's also pursuing MD in pharmacology, and she's been practicing yoga close to 8 years now. She's also a certified yoga instructor, and 4 years back, she started teaching yoga part time. It has always been her passion, and she's loving her journey.
Hi, Kushbu.
Hi.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are very much.
Yes. Okay. So I hope you've given a little bit of introduction about the Garbhsanskar already. So
I was just trying to cite example which I feel is an instance of Garb Sanskar from the medieval times. But you are the expert
okay.
and you will be able to tell us better. Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay. So let's just split the word first. It is very simple. So Garbha Sanskar. So what do you mean by Garbha? So Garbha is nothing but the embryo, right? So the fetus, the
Okay.
embryo. Sanskar is very simple. They do call a lot of them sanskar, which is nothing but a good human being, or education, like a training. So when I combine this, it is nothing but you're training, you're educating the embryo. So it is a literal meaning of Garbha Sanskar.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So coming to what exactly is this? So when was this started and everything? So this is like probably around 90 to 100 years old. So this is from the scriptures. So basically, it is one among the 16 sanskars in a human being. So we,
Oh my God.
humans, all of us, yes, all of us have 16 sanskars in our life. Okay, starting from the birth till the death, we have 16 sanskars. Okay, and one among that is our Garbha Sanskar. So it is the purest form and one of the greatest form of the sanskars which we have. So yes, so this is followed even from the starting of the conception till
Okay.
the birth of the baby.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
So, Anusha, I have one question that, what all comes under Garb Sanskar?
Okay, so yes, so a lot of them think Garbha Sanskar is something we practice physically, and sometimes they have a misconception that a prenatal yoga, it is nothing but the Garbha Sanskar. Okay, so just actually it is not the same. So Garbha Sanskar has a lot of things under that. So not just the physical part of management during the pregnancy, but also physiological, psychological, everything comes under this Garbha Sanskar. Okay, so like I mentioned, so when a mother, starting from the conception, okay, if I have to tell you very clearly, so even how the conception is done, okay, and what time the conception should start, what time the conception has started, it just happened. All this has an effect on the baby, has an effect on the upcoming birth of the baby. So starting from that, each and every step we take as a mother, each and every step we do as a mother has an impact on the baby. Okay, so traditionally it is basically, it is nothing but we are creating the baby. So if it is followed like in a very good way, like in a strict way, so we have, it is in our hands to create our own baby.
That is beautiful.
It is very beautiful, especially when you start reading the complete the scriptural part, and just start following that. So basically, we do suggest, if at all any couple who are planning to get conceived or planning to have a baby, then please start this 6 months prior to your conception, because whatever you have been doing, you require at least 6 months for your body to re-energize, to become a complete renew kind of a thing. Like, what
Mhm.
if at all you had any habits before, or whether it's a good or a bad, it doesn't matter, but there are certain changes you will have to make, maybe your food changes, or your lifestyle modification. So since you do know that our generation has changed now, correct? So
Yes,
since the generation has changed, we cannot go back to everyone and tell them, how the scriptures were, how the babies were born previously to, the kings, the queens, and, to the gods. So these things will not work now. So we need to modify certain things, and
totally.
certain things which are good.
Totally.
Yes.
So, Anusha, tell me one thing that, if I am like, for me, for example, if I'm planning
Yes.
for a baby, what is the procedure I
Okay.
should start following? Like, suppose I don't know anything about Garbhsanskar, and now this
Okay.
word has become another, famous term talked about everywhere,
Exactly.
but I don't know how to start, what to do. So could you like guide like few two three things, because already you have so much pressure, and you're doing so many things, seeing the doctor nowadays with PCOD health issues. You're doing already too much. So two three small,
Yes.
so that I can start and get uh, acquainted with the
Okay.
entire
Okay.
term. Yeah.
Yes, got it. So this is something which is a very vast subject, very very vast subject. It will just go like probably days for me to explain. But yes, I'll concise it so that I'll also try making it interesting. So first and foremost, if you're planning to have a baby, so if at all that I'm going to have a baby in the next year, right? So that is what usually the couples plan. So in that case, if it is a planned pregnancy, just make sure that the 6 months, before 6 months of your pregnancy, start taking some good decisions, like some routines should change. You should have a certain routine. So nowadays, that whether it's a mother or a father, it's not the one. Another thing which I want to tell you, Garbhasanskar is from both. It is not by just a mother. Okay, there is a wrong conception, Garbha Sanskar, because the mother has the womb. It doesn't mean that she has to do everything. It is from both. So it is, yeah, like a couple should, start planning this from 6 months with certain restrictions, like for example, you have any addictions. Okay, whether addictions are not just about your alcohol or smoking. It is also about a lot of things, like nowadays I see them addicted to social media. I see them addicted to a lot of other things, right? Your
Netflix.
gadgets also. Yeah, flicks, exactly. Netflix, watching movie, binging on eating a popcorn, watching a movie. So there are so many things like that. Okay, so become strict about your lifestyle modification. So there should be a routine, like if at all you're waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So this is just a thing, I'm not asking you to get up at 6 o'clock, but yes, if at all you're waking up 6 o'clock, make sure that you finish your whole day, and then get back to sleep by at least maximum of 11 p.m. in the night. Have a good sleep. So this has to be every day. It's not that today you're going to do this and tomorrow you're going to be awake whole night because you're watching the TV and everything. Okay, so this is one thing. Second, food style. Whatever you eat, make sure that you have it under your control. So I cannot restrict you by eating certain kind of food, because again, according to scripture, you're supposed to have a healthy sattvic diet. Okay, but I'll tell you one thing, because of the modifications we have to do, a lot of them may not have the sattvic diet. Okay, and they believe in that. rather than pressuring yourself too much into, okay, I cannot eat this, so that pressure will be in your mind, and then again that is an impact on your pregnancy. So don't do that. But whatever you eat, make sure that you are keeping it under the diet. Okay. And coming to your work, a lot of them are going to work. They're hard workers these days, right? So even your work, I know you cannot get out from the work, but there should be some certain breaks you take in between to clear your mind. Whatever happens there should be there. It should not come and impact you at home. Okay, these are the certain lifestyle modification. And after that, I want you to like go through all your what do you call your tests, like the routine tests and everything, the medical point of view as well. So after this, when the time of conception is also very important, so we will talk about this but not in detail again. The time of conception, what time are you going to have the baby. See, they say that with heavy diet, and a lot of couples will have the intercourse in the night, correct? So that is a wrong method of having planning for a pregnancy. So it should be either early in the morning or around 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., or 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. in the morning. I know it sounds very funny, but still this is the best time to have like a good conception. Okay, then also, not just having a conception, it doesn't mean that you have it, that it's not just that, it also depends on the aesthetic, it depends on the surrounding. You should make your place very beautiful, clean, decorative. All this has an impact. And also some kind of good music. Do not like I don't encourage musics like a complete with a lot of sound, and either our Hollywood or a Bollywood musics. It's not going to be like that. Like a small calm, and like instrumental can be a good thing. So
Okay.
this is like the pre conception plans what you have to make.
Okay. Anusha, that was few very great tips, which can be followed with today's lifestyle that we live in. For our listeners, I've listed it down. I'll also put down music there in the chat box. I have one question. Like, these
Yes.
are so many helps that, for preconception or for mothers, the Garbh Sanskar is very, very, mothers and fathers, the Garbh Sanskar is very beneficial. But how does it help the unborn child?
Yes, this is very important. So, why are we doing so much preconception, and why are we doing so much in at the time of pregnancy? Let me tell you. So, um, yes, I don't want to judge anyone here, but still, a lot of cases when there is like unplanned pregnancies which happens, okay, and there are sometimes pregnancy which happens unplanned, and at the time of some other things, like for example, if they are in a party, or if they have taken some amount of like alcohol, and then they, yes, it's couples, and then they conceive. Okay, but yes, they decide to keep the baby. Then there are certain things our body will not, the body will support that kind of lifestyle itself. Okay, so there are according to the scriptures, these certain changes what we make, one, the major impact will be on the parents. Okay, you will be with the free mind, you have decided to have a baby, right? One, first and foremost, you have decided to have a baby, and you want to have a baby. Okay, that is something which has a very major impact than an unplanned pregnancy. Okay, one. Second thing, why are we doing so much, why are we giving so much importance to something which is not born yet, right? So 80% what we do, 80% of things what we do pre-planned, and during the pregnancy has 80% of the development of the baby's brain. Okay, the baby's brain will be almost developed before the born, before the delivery, correct? So and 18 to 20% will be around 3 to 5 years of the child, and a little bit will be when the baby is after, sorry, when the kid is after 18 to 20 years of age. But that 80% of the brain development happens inside the mother itself. So starting from the small thing like the fetus, when a mother will get to know that she's pregnant after what, the 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks after she misses her period. So there is already the fetus which is inside her, and there are certain development which starts happening. So that's why we call it in weeks, right? So if you have observed, a doctor will ask a patient, how many weeks are you in? 8 week, 4 weeks, 16 weeks. So every week there is a development of certain body parts, certain body organs. So it is very quick, very quick. Everything happens just in second. And also, to have a good amount of good conception, a father's sperm should also be very healthy. Okay, this we miss out telling it to a lot of couples. It's not just the mother, even the father's good sperm is necessary. That's why we forget to tell them, and they go through a lot if they're not having a conception. So this is very important. And again, to have a good conception, to have a good sperm, the father should also be with a sound mind, and he should also be having a healthy what do you call, lifestyle. Correct. And scientifically speaking, genetics play an important role. If at all I'm the mother and I'm having a bad lifestyle, and I have certain changes like diabetes, I'm prone for diabetes, then I'll obviously give birth to a child with these genetics.
So, would you say that it has an impact? And a lot of females nowadays have started developing something called pregnancy diabetes. Like it stays only for the pregnancy
Yes.
phase.
Yes, gestational diabetes.
Yes,
Okay,
gestation.
so this particular gestational diabetes, I feel it's purely lifestyle modification. It's a complete change in the lifestyle modification.
Okay, great. Anusha, I have one more question, which, it's pinching over my mind that, um, many a places, Garbhsanskar has been confused with prenatal yoga.
Yes.
And there is any specific difference which defines the line between Garbhsanskar and prenatal yoga?
Yes. Definitely, definitely. This is something which I wanted to focus on speaking today, because I have been seeing a lot of them just speak saying Garbhsanskar, but what they teach out there is just going to be yoga. So yoga, I am not going to say yoga is a very good part of your life. It is going to be a very good part of a mother's life. So prenatal is a term, okay? Any yoga which can be done in pregnancy is called prenatal yoga. Okay, let me just clarify that. But prenatal yoga is a part of Garbhsanskar, but Garbhsanskar is not a part of prenatal yoga. Garbhsanskar is huge. Other than yoga, you do have a lot of other things. Like I told you, yoga, we do have Garbhasamvad, we do have senses activities like for the development of the baby's sensory organs. Okay, so a lot like that, a lot like that is comes under Garbhasanskar. But when it comes to yoga, and if at all they're adding meditation, pranayama, then it is going to be just the asana practices and your pranayama practices, which comes under yoga. Okay, but other things like in Garbhasanskar you're supposed to listen to certain kind of music for the development of the baby. That is not done. Okay, and in Garbhasanskar you have certain activities, certain games, certain what do you call, like I mentioned, certain colors you follow, certain ornaments you follow. All, it's a vast subject. All this comes under Garbhasanskar.
So it's better
But
to say that, prenatal yoga is just a small part of Garbhsanskar.
part of, yes, exactly. It's just a small part of Garbhasanskar.
Great, because, I have been getting confused with this term in a lot of places because there's so much information, but, I was not like able to define the difference. So, it's very good to be answered by you, Anusha. And then, I have one more thing. to ask, one
Yes.
last tip you would want to say the people who have not done preconception Garbhsanskar, have conceived and now want to do.
Yes.
So, what are the specific things they need to concentrate to start Garbhsanskar during the pregnancy?
Yes, I'll tell you, as far as I am concerned, I'll be very frank about this. Till now, I've got just two students who are in the preconception stage. Still, my journey. All these years have been teaching. Almost all the other students who have been coming to me are already
After
pregnant, and sometimes they come in the month, ninth month, like in the third trimester. So I have always been telling them something. I do not tell them about the preconception stages and everything. I just tell them, it's never too late to start it. It's never too late to start the lifestyle modification. Never too late to give those changes to your baby. It's completely fine. So when the day you decide to start, you can get on and get started with these changes. Of course, as you're already pregnant, I know you will be lagging behind certain things, like whether your food changes or other things. But let me tell you, there are other certain things, like a mother have seen nowadays, they keep using the phones just to check what to buy for the baby, what to do for the maybe your prenatal shoot, something like that. Okay, so try to use as less as possible your phones. It's okay if you want to use your laptop, but take good amount of breaks. If you're a working mother, please take as much break as possible. Then start your yoga and meditation as much as you can. Meditation is difficult, it's a very huge word again. Let me just tell you, yoga and pranayama to start, and a little bit of breathing exercises, calming exercises, and certain activities which will improve the baby's brain. Okay, certain activities, some small games like your scribbles and those snake and ladder games. Some games you can start playing, like chess. These are certain good things which you can actually give some work to your brain, and enroll yourself in cooking. Cook something for yourself. A baby can definitely like smell what you're doing. It will be very happy, and listen to some good music. And I'll tell you one more thing, the baby's favorite music is mother's heartbeat. Okay, the baby will not like it if your heartbeat is too fast. Just so try to keep yourself as calm as possible, so that baby will also start loving this particular journey.
Anusha, thank you so much for
Yes.
educating so much about Garbha Sanskar, and I want to tell my listeners that Anusha is starting a channel coming week, and I would want to have a specific circle with you for the role of the fathers and how fathers can practice Garbha Sanskar. Thank you for watching. For more such videos, do like, share, and subscribe to the First Parents.